Eindhoven is a municipality and a city located in the province of North Brabant in the south of the Netherlands. Originally at the confluence of the Dolmans INFO streams, the Gender was dammed short of the city centre in the 1950s, but the Dommel still runs through the city. The city has a population of 223,220 in January 2015, making it the fifth largest municipality of the Netherlands and the largest of North Brabant. Neighbouring cities and towns include Zonnebreugel, Nieuwennen, Geldrop Merlo, Heeslinde, Valra, Veldhoven, Eersel, Oerschoot and Best. The agglomeration has a population of 337,487. The metropolitan area consists of 419,045 inhabitants. The city region has a population of 753,426. Also, Eindhoven is located in the Brabantse Stedenregie, a combined metropolitan area with about 2 million inhabitants. Name. The name Eindhoven derives from the contraction of the regional words Eind and Hove. Eind is toponymically a common prefix and postfix in local place and street names. Hove was a parcel of land that might be given in leasehold to private persons such as farmers by the local lord, taken in conjunction with the fact that a string of such parcels existed around Woensel. The original location of Eindhoven may be understood to be last Hovis on the land of Woensel. History. 13th–15th century. The written history of Eindhoven started in 1232, when Duke Hendrik I of Brabant granted city rights to Eindhoven, then a small town right on the confluence of the Dolmans INFO streams. At the time of granting of its charter, Eindhoven had approximately 170 houses enclosed by a rampart. Just outside of the city walls stood a small castle. The city was also granted the right to organize a weekly market, and the farmers in nearby villages were obliged to come to Eindhoven to sell their produce. Another factor in its establishment was its location on the trade route from Holland to Liege. Around 1388, the city's fortifications were strengthened further, and between 1413 and 1420, a new castle was built within the city walls. In 1486, Eindhoven was plundered and burned by troops from Gelders. 16th–18th century. The reconstruction of Eindhoven was finished in 1502, with a stronger rampart and a new castle. However, in 1543 it fell again, its defense works having been neglected due to poverty. A big fire in 1554 destroyed 75% of the houses, but by 1560 these had been rebuilt with the help of William I of Orange. During the Dutch Revolt, Eindhoven changed hands between the Dutch and the Spanish several times, during which it was burned down by renegade Spanish soldiers, until finally in 1583 it was captured once more by Spanish troops and its city walls were demolished. Eindhoven did not become part of the Netherlands until 1629. During the French occupation, Eindhoven suffered again, with many of its houses destroyed by the invading forces. Eindhoven remained a minor city after that until the start of the Industrial Revolution. 19th century. The Industrial Revolution of the 19th century provided a major growth impulse. Canals, roads and railroads were constructed. Eindhoven was connected to the major Zuid-Willemsvaart Canal through the Eindhoven's Canal branch in 1843 and was connected by rail to Tilburg, 's-Hertogenbosch, Venlo and Belgium between 1866 and 1870. Industrial activities initially centered around tobacco and textile and boomed with the rise of lighting and electronics giant Philips, which was founded as a light bulb manufacturing company in Eindhoven in 1891. Industrialization brought population growth to Eindhoven. At the establishment of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in 1815, Eindhoven had 2,310 inhabitants. 20th century. By 1920, the population was 47,946, by 1925 it was 63,870, and in 1935 that had ballooned to 103,030. The explosive growth of industry in the region and the subsequent housing needs of workers called for radical changes in administration. As the city of Eindhoven was still confined to its medieval moat city limits, in 1920, the 5 neighboring municipalities of Woensel, Tongeren, Stratum, Gestel, Bleldum and Strijp, which already bore the brunt of the housing needs and related problems, were incorporated into the new Groot Eindhoven municipality. The prefix Groot was later dropped. After the incorporation of 1920, the 5 former municipalities became districts of the municipality of Eindhoven, with Eindhoven Centrum forming the 6th. Since then, an additional 7th district has been formed by dividing the largest district, that of Woensel, into Woensel Zuid and Woensel Noord. The early 20th century saw additions in technical industry with the advent of car and truck manufacturing company Van Doorn's Automobile Fabriek, and the subsequent shift towards electronics and engineering, with the traditional tobacco and textile industries waning and finally disappearing in the 1970s. A first air raid in World War II was flown by the RAF on 6 December 1942 targeting the Philips factory downtown. 148 civilians died, even though the attack was carried out on a Sunday by low-flying Mosquito bombers. Large-scale air raids, including the preliminary bombing during Operation Market Garden to aid the U.S. 101st Airborne Division paratroopers in securing the bridges in and around the town on 18 September 1944, destroyed large parts of the city. The reconstruction that followed left very little historical remains, and the post-war reconstruction period saw drastic renovation plans in high-rise style, some of which were implemented. At the time, there was little regard for historical heritage. In the 1960s, a new city hall was built and its neo-Gothic predecessor demolished to make way for a planned arterial road that never materialized. The 1970s, 1980s and 1990s saw large-scale housing developments in the districts of Woensel Zuid and Woensel Noord, making Eindhoven the 5th largest city in the Netherlands. At the start of the 21st century, a whole new housing development called Meerhoven was constructed at the site of the old airport of Welship, west of Eindhoven. The airport itself, now called Eindhoven Airport, had moved earlier to a new location, paving the way for much-needed new houses. Meerhoven is part of the Strijp district and partially lies on lands annexed from the municipality of Veldhoven. 21st century. In the 2000s decade, Eindhoven emerged as the capital of Dutch industrial design. The Design Academy Eindhoven has produced major Dutch designers, such as Maarten Baars, Marcel Wanders, Richard Hutton, Jurgen Bay, and Hella John Jerius. The school also has a strong affiliation with Droog Design. In 2003, Time magazine called the Academy the School of Cool, due to the fame of the DAE. Eindhoven has been able to grow in the design industry with such events as the Dutch Design Week, that takes place every October. While most of Philips Industries have moved out, the Philips Design Bureau is still in Eindhoven. Geography. Terrain map of the Eindhoven region. The villages and city that make up modern Eindhoven were originally built on sandy elevations between the Dommel, Gender and Tongelreep streams. Beginning in the 19th century, the basins of the streams themselves have also been used as housing grounds, resulting in occasional floodings in the city centre. Partly to reduce flooding, the bed of the Gender stream, which flowed directly through the city centre, was dammed off and filled up after the war, and the course of the Dommel was regulated. New ecological and socio-historical insights have led to parts of the Dommel's course being restored to their original states. and plans to have the gender flow through the center once again. The large-scale housing developments of the 20th century saw residential areas being built on former agricultural lands and woods, former heaths that had been turned into cultivable lands in the 19th century. The city is currently divided into 7 districts. Climate: 37.0 degrees Celsius is the new temperature record in Eindhoven on the 2nd of July 2015. Demographics: population as of 2013. Update: the population of Eindhoven consisted of 218,433 persons. Of these, 29.5% or some 63,873 people are of foreign descent. People are classified as being of foreign descent when they were born outside of the Netherlands, or when at least one of their parents was born outside of the Netherlands. Large minority groups include non-Western immigrants, 38,303, Turks, Moroccans, Surinamese, Antilleans, Arubans, Indian people, Chinese people, others, Western immigrants, 28,578, Indos, Germans, Belgians, British people, Spaniards, Eastern European immigrants, 4,341, Polish people, former Yugoslavia, former Soviet Union. The municipal agglomeration of Eindhoven has 327,245 inhabitants as of the 1st of January 2010. The spoken language is a combination of Kempenlands and North Mayeris. Both dialects belong to the East Brabantian dialect group, which is very similar to colloquial Dutch. Districts: of all Eindhoven districts, the historical centre is by far the smallest in size and population, numbering only 5,419 in 2006. Woensel Noord is the largest, having been the city's main area of expansion for several decades. Population figures for all districts, as of the 1st of January 2008, ranked by size: Woensel Noord, Woensel Zuid, Stratum, Gestel, Stripe, Tongeren, Centrum. Religion: Eindhoven is located in the southeast of the province of North Brabant. This area is historically Roman Catholic, and the population of Eindhoven was similarly mostly Roman Catholic for a very long time. However, the internationalizing influence of the university, Philips and other companies have created a more mixed population over the last few decades. The Eindhoven agglomeration has the following religious makeup as of 2003. Roman Catholic, 65.4%. Reformed, 1.1%. Dutch Reformed, 2.9%. Muslim, 4.2%. No church denomination, 25.1%. The spiritual needs of the Eindhoven population are tended by a large number of churches, 2 mosques and 1 synagogue. In addition, Eindhoven is also the abode of street preacher Arnold Cox. Crime in research by the Dutch newspaper Algemeen Dagblad based on the police's statistical data on crime rates. Eindhoven was found to have the highest crime rate in the Netherlands for 2006, 2007, 2009, and 2010. In 2011, Eindhoven has slipped down the list to number 6. In 2009, in the Eindhoven agglomeration, the following numbers of crimes were recorded. Languages: Standard Dutch. Eindhoven does not have its own uniform dialect. Varieties of the Brabantian dialect used to be spoken in the former villages of Gestel, Woensel and Stratum, but are now almost extinct. The closest city to Eindhoven in which Brabantian is spoken is Helmond. Economy: Eindhoven has grown from a little town in 1232 to one of the biggest cities in the Netherlands with around 212,000 inhabitants in 2009. Much of its growth is due to Philips, DAF Trucks and Brabantia. After the resurrection of the Netherlands in 1815 and the end of the Belgian Revolution, Eindhoven was a small village of some 1,250 people in an economically backward and mostly agricultural area. Cheap land, cheap labor and the existence of pre-industrial home sourcing made Eindhoven an attractive area for the developing industries which were being stimulated by the government of King William I. Most of these industries disappeared again after World War II, though. In 1891, brothers Gerard and Anton Philips founded the small light bulb factory that would grow into one of the largest electronics firms in the world. Philips' presence is probably the largest single contributing factor to the major growth of Eindhoven in the 20th century. It attracted and spun off many high-tech companies, making Eindhoven the major technology and industrial hub. In 2005, a full third of the total amount of money spent on research in the Netherlands was spent in or around Eindhoven. A quarter of the jobs in the region are in technology and ICT, with companies such as FEI Company, NXP Semiconductors, ASML, Tulek, Simac, CIBER, Nelways, Atos Origin and the aforementioned Philips and DAF. Eindhoven has long been a center of cooperation between research institutes and industry. This tradition started with Philips and has since expanded to large cooperative networks. The Eindhoven University of Technology hosts an incubator for technology startups and the NatLab has developed into the high-tech campus Eindhoven. Also, TNO has opened a branch on the university campus. This tradition has also fostered inter-industry cooperation in the region. One example of this is the announcement in September 2010 of a new research lab for high-grade packaging materials, a cooperation of IPS Packaging and Thales Cryognetics. This cooperative tradition has also developed into a different direction than the traditional technology research done at the university. Starting in 2002, the university, the Catharina Hospital, Philips Medical and the University of Maastricht joined forces and started joint research into biomedical science, technology and engineering. Within Eindhoven, this research has been concentrated in a new university faculty. This development has also made Eindhoven a biomedical technology hub within the country and its region. Prime examples of industrial heritage in Eindhoven are the renovated Witdame complex, a former Philips lamp factory, and the Admirant building, the former Philips main offices. The Witdame currently houses the municipal library, the design academy and a selection of shops. The Admirant has been renovated into an office building for small companies. Across the street from the Witdame and next to the Admirant is Philips' first light bulb factory. The small building now houses the Centrum Kunstlicht Kunst and the Philips Incandescent Lamp Factory of 1891 museum. Knowledge economy initiatives. Due to its high-tech environment, Eindhoven is part of several initiatives to develop, foster and increase a knowledge economy. Chief among these are Brainport Top Technology Region, a cooperative initiative of local government, industry and the Eindhoven University of Technology to develop the local knowledge economy of the Eindhoven region. Brainport Development, an extension of the Top Technology Region. Brainport Development serves commercial exploitation and advertising of the region. SRE. The Samenwerkingsverband Regio Eindhoven is a cooperative agreement among the municipalities in the Eindhoven metropolitan area. Although SRE is far more than just an economic agreement, it includes economic cooperation. The Eindhoven-Leuven-Aachen Triangle, an extensive cooperation agreement between the universities and surrounding regions of Eindhoven, Leuven and Aachen. Within the Eindhoven region, several parties are working together to set up an automotive testing facility of European scale, for testing and European certification of vehicles. This cooperation involves the Eindhoven University of Technology, TNO Automotive and the different automotive companies in and around Helmond. As a result of these efforts, the Intelligent Community Forum named the Eindhoven Metro region one of the top 21 intelligent communities in 2008 and one of the top 7 intelligent communities in 2009 and 2010. Finally, in 2011, the ICF named Eindhoven the Intelligent Community of the Year. EIT Co-location Eindhoven is one of the co-location centers of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. It hosts two knowledge and innovation communities, NO Energy and EIT ICT Labs. The co-locations are on the high-tech campus Eindhoven. Education. Eindhoven, being a city with a 200,000-plus population, is served by a large number of schools both at primary and secondary education levels. In addition, Eindhoven is a higher education hub within the southern Netherlands, with several institutes of higher education that serve students from the extended region of North Brabant, Zeeland, Limburg and parts of the surrounding provinces. Primary education. Primary education is provided to the children aged 4 to 12 in Eindhoven through a large number of primary schools. Special needs primary education. Salto School Jan Nieuwenhuizen SKPO School de Race van Brandaan SKPO School Petra School Salto School de Vijfkamp. Secondary education. Secondary education is provided to the children aged 12 to 18 in Eindhoven through several high schools. Special needs secondary education. Zondervan College, located in Stolberg. De Coronair, MGR, Bekkers, De Beemden, Mytile School, Anton Skellens College, Praktijk School Eindhoven, VSO Eckersbeek, Instituut St. Marie. Higher and adult education. Eindhoven hosts 4 different public institutions for higher and adult education, as well as a number of private institutions offering courses and trainings. The public institutions hosted in Eindhoven are the Design Academy, the Eindhoven University of Technology, the Fontys University of Applied Sciences, Summer College. The Open University also has a study center in Eindhoven. Among the private institutions is the Centrum voor Kunst in Eindhoven, which offers art-related courses to adults.